Hi and welcome to Namaste Thunder Bay. My name is Kelly Rooney and I'm going to guide you through a 25-minute practice dedicated to your lower back and hips. Today we're working on our yoga practice from the beautiful Vickers Park in Thunder Bay. It's so nice to be able to practice our yoga outside and to capture it here so that we can watch it throughout the year, remembering these beautiful summer days and the bird song, the sound of the wind in the trees. So let's take time to center into the body as we prepare for our practice. If you have a yoga mat, you can roll it out now. Feel free to pause if you need to and grab any of the things that you like to have for your practice, props, straps, blocks, and then we'll meet on the mat. As you come to the mat, decide for yourself, would you like to center into your body, letting go of all the external distractions, seated, or lying back on your mat, allowing yourself to really stretch out, take up some space, lean in, and relax the muscles throughout the body. We're using this opportunity to let go of the tension in the body, find some stillness in the body, and sink into those moments in between our thoughts. If you decided to lie back, you might notice all the places where your body is making contact with the floor, feeling the support of the earth underneath you, and allowing yourself to sink in a little bit more by relaxing the muscles. Softening the muscles through your face, letting your shoulders drape back toward the mat, and softening your belly so that it can rise and fall naturally with each breath. If you decided to stay seated, you want to just allow that spine to stay long and tall, the crown of your head lifting up toward the ceiling and shoulder blades draping down the back. Wherever you are this morning, allow yourself to notice the breath coming and going without trying to change it, just observing how it moves through your body. And by bringing your attention to your breath, you might notice it begins to slow down by itself, just the mere attention to the breath. Breathing slows down. Whenever you come to the mat, you might take time to set an intention. Your intention might come to mind very quickly and easily. It might be top of mind for you, something you're working toward that you want to keep in mind throughout your practice. It might be being gentle and kind with yourself, or noticing and connecting with your breath. Or maybe it's something you're working on off the mat and you want to see how you can explore that during your time in yoga. Maybe it's being patient, or seeing the truth or authenticity, or living fully present. Allow an intention that feels right to you to set. And once the intention is set, you might wiggle your fingers and your toes and start to bring some sensation through the body. Maybe even rotating your wrists and your ankles. Or drawing your arms up overhead, pointing your toes, feeling the full length of your body, letting your belly sink down toward your spine. And drawing your knees in toward your chest, maybe one at a time, giving them a little hug and a squeeze. Keeping your attention with your body and all the physical sensations, noticing drawing both knees in toward your chest, how your back rounds. You might rock side to side. We do this to give a gentle massage to the back by using our body weight pressing into the ground. And keeping a bend in your knees, you can lower your feet down to the mat. And you might walk your feet apart to the width of your mat, heel toe, the feet apart, knees still pointing up toward the ceiling, maybe letting your arms drape open at your sides. We're gonna rock the knees from left to right, just like a windshield wiper. Noticing the feeling through the lower back and hips, maybe all the way down your IT band from your hip to your knee. And then allowing yourself to let the knees lower down to the left side, letting both knees sink down. Taking a few breaths here as you settle in. We want this practice to be really kind and gentle with our body. But if it feels right to you and you want a deeper stretch, you might lift the left foot up and place it on top of the right knee, using the weight of your left leg to draw the right leg closer to the ground. If you decided to place the left foot on the right knee, you can release the foot back down to the ground and draw your knees up to center and sway them from side to side, neutralize your spine. And let the knees settle down over to the right side, taking a few breaths, sinking into the mat. And if it feels right to you, you can lift the right foot, place it up on top of the left knee. Let the left knee sink down toward the ground. Releasing your right foot from your left knee. Draw your knees back up to center. Let your knees come in together to rest on one another. And heel toe your feet further apart, letting your knees sink down, feeling the stretch through the lower back and hips. Relaxing and slowing your breath down. Let the exhale be longer than the inhale. Heel toe your feet together. Letting the soles of your feet connect, we're going to open the knees up to the side to come into reclined butterfly. Still allowing the belly to be soft, letting it rise and fall with each breath. One more deep breath here. Drawing your right knee all the way over to your left knee, rolling onto your side into the fetal position. We're being gentle as we move through the body. Pressing your right hand into the ground, you can begin to rise your torso up, coming onto your seated position. And when you come to your seat, allow your sits bones to connect with the mat. It might help to move the flesh away from the sits bones or to lift the hips up and tilt the pelvis forward. Letting your knees be bent if that's comfortable for you. If you prefer to have straight legs or one leg straight, if you have any issues with your knees, just honor your body. What we're looking for here is a pelvis that is tilted forward so that you don't have a rounded lower back. A long, straight spine with the crown of your head rising up toward the sky, chin staying parallel to the ground or slightly down to get the length through the back of the neck. And shoulder blades down the back, allowing the shoulders to drape away from the ears. We often carry a lot of tension here, so you might draw the shoulders up, release them back down. When we want to work on the health of the spine, we want to remember that the spine needs movement in every direction. Forward fold, back bend, side to side, and twist. So as you're thinking about your practice, remember that your neck is a natural extension of the spine. We'll start with the neck, semicircling the head from side to side. Coming back to center, take your gaze over your left shoulder and then over your right, noticing the full range of motion in the neck. Bringing your head to neutral, we're going to use the breath and inhale the chin down to the chest. Exhale to bring the chin up toward the sky. Inhale, chin to chest. Exhale, chin to sky. One more time. Coming back to center. We're taking the left ear over toward the left shoulder. You might place your left hand on your right shoulder or draw it up and over your head and let it rest there. We're going to take a few breaths here to let the neck relax and ease over to the side. We're keeping the spine straight. This isn't bending sideways. We're just releasing through the neck. Lowering your hand down to your lap, draw your head up to neutral, and then ease the right ear over toward the right shoulder. The right hand can rest on the left shoulder, or draw it up and over the head, letting it rest on top of the head. And again, we're using the weight of the arm, not pulling or drawing on the head, simply resting the arm there. Using a little time and gravity to do the work. release your hand down to your knee or your lap. Bring your head back up to neutral, semicircle, side to side. The neck should feel a little looser. Maybe we've let a symphony of pops and cracks release from the body. Trying our best not to judge the body when we hear those pops and cracks. It's just a little symphony for us to listen to as we let go of tension. Let's do the same thing for the spine. We'll draw the hands up overhead to lengthen the spine and through the sides of the body. And then we're going to lower the left hand down to the mat and draw your right hand over to the left side, stretching, keeping that right hip anchored down toward the ground. And a few alignment cues to notice here. You want your chest high and open to the side, not rolling forward. And remembering that the neck is a natural extension of the spine. Don't let your head drop out of alignment with the spine. Your gaze can be straight ahead or up toward the sky or the ceiling. We're going to breathe in and draw up to center, both hands rising up overhead, lengthening through the spine. And then letting your right hand come down. Keep your left hip anchored toward the ground. Stretch your left hand over to the right side. Inhale, rising up to center. Both hands up overhead. Interlace your fingers together. Press your palms up toward the sky. Your gazing point might be straight ahead, or you can take your gaze up toward the ceiling or the sky. Releasing your fingers, let your hands float down to your sides and sweep your hands in behind your back, clasping your hands together. We're going to draw the shoulder blades together, push the fists away from you, open the chest, take the gaze up, and then let the heart come forward, sinking down toward the ground. Maybe your forehead comes down toward the ground and the arms begin to rise up off the back. Listen to your body if that's available. Let them float up. Rising up slowly, release your fingers gently, and then sweep the arms all the way overhead, keeping a little space between the palms of the hands. We're going to twist through the spine by bringing the right hand down to the left knee, and the left hand goes in behind your back. We're twisting through the rib cage. It's turning toward the back. The neck is relaxed and loose, but you can let your gaze guide over your left shoulder. Coming back to center, sweep the arms up overhead, lengthen through the sides of the body, and then draw your left hand down to your right knee. Your right hand goes in behind your back, lengthen and twist. Look away over the shoulder. Coming back to center, use your inhale to draw your hands up overhead. And bring your hands together, sink them down to heart center. Allow the thumbs to connect with the breastbone. Take a breath here. And then you can draw your hands forward, plant them down on your mat, and come onto your hands and your knees. You want your hands planted underneath your shoulders and your knees hip width apart underneath your hips. We're going to dive into our cat-cow breath, allowing the belly to sink down toward the mat, bringing your chest forward and your head up. And as you exhale, press away from the mat, round your back and look down to your belly button. Inhale, sinking to cow. Exhale, rising up to cat, push away from the mat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale to cow. And exhale to cat. Crossing your heels, you can draw your hips back, extend your legs out in front of you. The back has been moved in every direction. Your spine has had a great warm up. We're going to work a little bit on the lower back and hips before we wrap up today. So with your feet planted on your mat, draw your hips as close to your heels as you can, lying back on your mat. We're going to start by taking the right ankle over to the left knee and let the right knee turn open to the side. You might keep your foot planted on the floor, or you can lift your left foot up onto a block if you have a block, or draw the knees in toward your chest, maybe holding onto the back of the left leg or around the left shin. We're drawing the knees in toward the chest, and then sometimes we've built up some tension around the shoulders and the neck. Try to relax the shoulders and the neck, soften the muscles of the face, and allow yourself 3 breaths here. Releasing your left foot back to the mat, guiding your right foot back down to the mat. Take your left ankle over to your right knee and notice opening the left knee up to the side. Really release that hip open. You might keep the right foot planted on the floor, rise it up onto one of your yoga blocks, or bring your knees in toward the chest, wrapping your hands around the right thigh or around the shin, drawing the knees into the chest. Relax the muscles through the shoulders and allow yourself to sink into 3 breaths here. Releasing your right foot back down to the mat, lowering your left foot down to the mat, letting the knees rock from side to side. And then notice if you want to draw the knees in toward the chest and give them a little squeeze. And then stretch your legs long and straight. Take up some space. Let your feet turn out to the sides, getting a nice, comfortable Shavasana. Arms are 45-degree angle from the body. Maybe the palms of the hands are open toward the sky or the ceiling. The belly is soft and relaxed as you begin to breathe deeply, letting the exhale be longer than the inhale. Letting your shoulders drape back toward the mat, softening into the support beneath you. And taking some time here to really focus on the breath, feeling it coming and going. Relaxing the body, noticing the muscles of the face soften between the eyebrows. Relax the cheeks and the jaw. And if you hold the tongue pressed to the roof of your mouth, let it ease away from the roof of the mouth. Noticing the whole body relaxes as you soften through the face. Stay with your breath. You can remain in Shavasana for as long as you like, always returning to notice the sounds around you, the feelings within the body as the belly rises and falls, or any of the physical sensations. And whenever it feels right to you, you can wiggle your fingers and toes and come out of your Shavasana gently. So stay in Shavasana if you like, and whenever you're ready, come out in a gentle, mindful way. Thank you so much for taking the time to practice with me on Namaste, Thunder Bay. Namaste.